I'm Candy, and I'm a Gunpowder Gal.
What's up, everybody? Tiffany Outdoors here. I'm here with a special guest, Candy of the Gunpowder Gals.
Hello! And I'm special.
Very special. But we're going to do an interview with her. So, Candy.
Yes.
Gunpowder Gals. How did the Gunpowder Gals get started?
Okay, well, this is really funny. So, in back pre-2008, I was very anti-gun, grew up in Los Angeles. Only people I knew had guns were gangbangers and cops, and sometimes those were kind of confusing. Anyways, it was the 80 in LA, let me tell you, the cops did all sorts of sketchy things. Anyhow, so I moved to North Carolina, and my husband saw an ad for the NRA Women's Wilderness Escape, and it was 10 days in New Mexico. And I had zero interest in shooting, but I really wanted to go to New Mexico, so I said, okay. So I went and I had such a good time. I met so many amazing women. When I came back, I looked for a women's only shooting group. Well, actually, I came back and I went shooting with my husband, and that was disappointing. Because when you shoot with women, you get this camaraderie, you cheer and you help, and you're like, hey, what are you doing? I don't know, but I'm doing this. And when I went shooting with my husband, I was like, well, what I'm doing wrong? He's like, I don't know, you're not hitting it. Okay, that really helped me not at all, and it just wasn't fun. So I tried to find a women's only shooting group. There wasn't one, and so I started one, honestly looking for just one or two women that would go with me to the range so I wouldn't feel self-conscious. And here I am 9 years later. There's 400 women on our meetup group. There's over 200 on our Facebook group, and we have 4 to 8 monthly meetings. So
that's fantastic. So there's a lot of she does a lot of events, and they're all different types, not just shooting. We also do archery events. So how did you get the name Gunpowder Gals? Okay,
so I had no idea. Like, I have no real imagination. As I struggled to find words, I have no imagination. So I was trying to think, what should it be? And I actually had a group of women at that time. I think we had like 30 or 40 women in the group. And I said, let's do a naming contest. And I opened it up to them, and I said, well, I have to be able to contribute something. So I asked my dad, I'm like, Dad, because my dad named me Candy Sugarman. My dad's got the skills with naming. So I called up my dad and I was like, I said, Dad, help me. And he came up with 3 or 4 names, and one of them was the Gunpowder Gals. And I actually submitted it, and that was the one that got the most votes.
Awesome. So you let your
my father contribute.
Gals.
The gals decide on what they want
to decide the name. That's awesome. What can people do to support the Gunpowder Gals?
Okay, well, there's a lot that people can do to support the gals. The easiest way is just to let people know that we exist. There's only so much marketing that I can do, right? There's only so much money that I can push into it. So if you are a male and you know a woman who is interested in shooting or is already shooting, tell them about the Gunpowder Gals. If you're a woman and you're interested in shooting, come join us. We have the most diverse amount and so many fabulous women. I always get some like older women who are like, I'm scared to go, and they go and they're like, these are my people.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I work really hard to make sure that there is no division, that everybody feels equally welcome. And so just come out and see us. If you see a post on Facebook, share it. That's always great. Instagram, like it. And if you'd like to be a sponsor, that would be really very helpful. There's so much that I want to do, but of course limited funds makes it hard. So sponsorships, we have a couple of local gun stores that sometimes sponsor us for our events, whether they write us a check and go, here, buy breakfast with it, or whether they give us free range time, or whether they put out our business cards. I mean, anything that you can do to help really let people know that we exist is great.
How does one become a Gunpowder Gal?
All right, write this down. Get your pen. Get ready.
Get ready.
Come to an event. There you go. That's all you need to do. I had somebody come to me and they were like, I want to join, but I don't have any money. And I thought, if you come to a Gunpowder Gal event, it's $5. Now you
$5.
$5. Yeah, $5 because I'm getting rich here. All I ask is you bring the ammo. If you don't have a gun, let me know and I'll let you borrow one. If you don't know how to do it, let me know and I will step you through it. I'll train you what you need to do. If you need targets, well, the $5 includes targets. I mean, I can't possibly make it any easier. I mean, I get some women who are like, well, your events are kind of far, and I think, well, can I shoot in your backyard? Because if I can't shoot in your backyard, then yes, the events are where they allow me to bring a gun and shoot.
Yeah, there's events in all different surrounding towns around. Let's see, we got Hope Mills, Fayetteville. There's events out in Dunn,
Stedman, Fuquay Arena. So the events aren't just in one area; they are in the local surrounding towns. What other events do the Gunpowder Gals do? Well, we are supporters of the Sand Hills National Wild Turkey Federation, and every year they do 2 events that we're really involved in. The first one actually is the Women in the Outdoors event, and that's happening on March 10th. It usually happens the 2nd Saturday of March, and it is an amazing event for women. If you are someone who's like, you know, I don't really go outdoors, I don't know anything about shooting, this is your event, because you will be shooting rifles and pistols and shotgun and doing archery and throwing tomahawks and fishing and canoeing, and lunch is involved. And let me tell you, it's $50 or $60. I'll have to look, because depending on whether you buy an early bird ticket or not, everything's included. The ammo, the guns, the training, everything that you need. And honestly, you get to spend time with some amazing women and you have fun. And you know, if you're a woman, I know that it's hard to carve out some time for yourself. I get that. Give this to you as a gift. The only men there are to serve, which works for me. They're there to make sure that you're safe. They're there for instructions. They're there to feed you. They cook the food. They clean up. It's awesome.
Yes.
We've been sponsors. This is the 6th year, so we've been sponsors for 6 years. And it is an amazing thing. We also do clinics. We haven't had one for a while, but we do have tactical, practical clinics for women who are interested in doing competitive shooting. We go through step by step, what you need to do. I like to keep the classes really small, because that means you get a lot of individual attention. I also do girlfriend gun parties, which is really fairly new. I only started doing them in August, and that's 2 hours of in-home firearms training for a woman and up to 7 of her friends. So it's intimidating to go to a range and there's gunfire and somebody hands you a gun and they're shouting instructions and you're going, oh my gosh, and you're trying to figure it all out and you're flinching every time you hear a bang. Girlfriend Gun Party eliminates all of that. There's no live fire. It's in the privacy of your home. You're with your friends, so you're having a good time. You're goofing off. I'm pretty darn funny. I do all the training. See, I made her laugh. I do all the training. I bring everything. As a hostess, all you have to do is supply the location and the friends. It's simply $35 per person, which is like ridiculously low for one-on-one training. I limit it to 8 women. So you get a lot of personal attention and you're gonna get all the fundamentals that you need in order to feel comfortable at the range. I've had women who've actually already had their concealed carry take the class and I'm there going, oh my gosh, these are advanced. And they come up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I learned so much. And I'm thinking, that's great and kind of scary.
But it's always a learning thing. I mean, every time I go to the range, I learn something new.
Absolutely. And a lot of times is women, men too, but I don't care about them. A lot of times women, somebody grabs them and puts a gun in their hand and goes, point that way and pull the trigger. And they go, okay. And then they go, oh no, I know how to shoot. I'm like, well, yeah, that's like putting you in a car and going, okay, put the step on this to make it go and step on this to make it stop. That doesn't mean you're qualified to drive on the freeway or drive on the street. There's a little bit more than that. Sure, you can drive. Are you safe with around others? Probably not.
So what is your favorite Gunpowder Gals event?
Okay, I have got to tell you that I am a shotgun gal. I love shotguns.
Yes.
And I think
me too.
Because I think with shotgun sports, it's something that's measurable. You can go to the range with your pistol and you're just throwing bullets down range and you're like, okay, woo, there's 100 rounds, I'm done. But when you do shotgun sports, you're doing fun stuff. So for example, trap, which for those of you who don't know, obviously with a shotgun, there's a little semicircle with 5 spaced out spaces. There's a trap house out in front and you say pull and an orange target flies through the air and it either goes left, right, or straight. That's the only thing it does, left, right, or straight. Now I'm simplifying this for those of you who are like, well, with trap shooting there's nuances. No, this is the simple stuff. You stand in one of the 5 squares, you say pull, that orange target goes out, boom, you try to hit it.
Try.
It goes so fast, I can't tell you how often I was like, wait, did it go? I didn't even see anything. Or I do the Elmer Fudd, boom, boom. Like, oh, okay, no. But it's fun because, again, you get 25 targets, and at the end of the day, you can go, okay, I hit 5. Next time I hit 10. After that, I hit 3. You know, you can measure it, and that's what it is. And sporting clays is like that. I always tell people it's like golf with shotguns. So you get in a golf cart, which, by the way, in itself is a hell of a lot of fun, and one of the reasons why I like it so much. It's more or less in the woods. We go over to Fuquay-Varina. We go to Drake's Landing.
Drake's Landing.
Yeah, Drake's Landing. I knew it was a bird. Drake's Landing, and you get in a little golf cart and you go to the first place, and you get there and there's a little stand. And the orange target, instead of going left, right, or center, can come from behind you. It can come in front of you. It can come curving left or right. Left and right, or it could go on the ground, it could pop up. I mean, there's all these things, and once you shoot, you're like, okay, you move on to the next one, and that's why I love the shotgun.
That is fun. I do like the sporting clays. That is my favorite.
Yes.
Of all the events, that's my favorite. That and all the archery stuff.
Yes, archery
I love
is
the
fun.
archery stuff. Women come out to do this.
Well, we do have a big diversity of women. I have women as young as 17. Marge was our oldest for a while. She was 80 years old. I have women who have never touched a gun before. In fact, one of my first girlfriend gun parties, I had a woman come out. Margaret, this is for you. She came out. She was terrified of guns. I believe she's in her 50s. When she was 16, there was an incident at a house party. One of her friends almost got shot, and she had, somebody found the parent's gun, dropped the magazine, but didn't clear the round, didn't clear the chamber, came out, pointed a gun at her friend's chest at the last minute, moved it to the side and pulled the trigger, and it discharged. And she was I mean, you can imagine, this is a really painful event for someone to go through. She didn't want to have anything to do with guns. She's living in Fayetteville, her brothers are living someplace else, and they encouraged her to, you know, at least get a gun for protection. She came to the girlfriend gun party terrified. That was in August. By December, she had purchased 2 guns, got her concealed carry, and had her first AR-15. You know, the fear went. So I've got women who are competitive shooters who come in, they're like, they've got this, and they're just looking for friendly women to go shoot with. Some of them who are like, this is something that I was told that I couldn't do.
Okay.
Right? And it makes me so sad. I have women who are like, I always wanted to learn to shoot, but my dad wouldn't take me. He'd only take my brothers. My uncles would only take me. You know, they wouldn't let me. They said it wasn't for me. And so this is something I want to do. And so we get women who come in. Sometimes they only shoot once or twice, and they're like, I did it, knocked it off my bucket list, and they're good.
And they're good.
Right. And then some that are like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and they want to be a part of it.
What, 16 guns later?
Yeah, there you go.
It's still looking for a new gun.
Yeah, so I get a lot of diversity, a lot of women, a lot of different backgrounds.
Okay. So is there an age limit?
Okay, I don't personally have an age limit. The ranges that we go to do have an age limit. Generally, our indoor ranges only allow people like 16 and over is generally it. Outdoor ranges, if it's a private range, they're usually a little bit more lenient on it. As long as it's a female child and as long as the parent or guardian is there, I don't have a problem. I think it's really, really important to get children involved so that they understand the seriousness. Like this is a big deal. This is not a toy.
Exactly.
And you might play shoot 'em up all day long, you know, with your video games and running around. This is really what does my family think about the Gunpowder Gals and my involvement? Before my father passed, first he was very surprised. Like very surprised, because like I mentioned, I grew up in an my dad had a gun, but it wasn't like, you know, he wasn't really shooting or anything like that. He had it for protection, and that was about the extent of it. He was very surprised, and he was very supportive. Obviously, he helped me come up with names for it. My mom was always with the guns. Although after my father passed, my mom came to visit me, and she said, I want to learn.
Oh,
and I was really excited. So we did some firearms training at home, and then I took her to the range, and she shot, and she really enjoyed it. So
she didn't even know she would like it.
Yes, she was really surprised. And for her, you know, I love my father very dearly, but he was a yeller, and my first experience shooting was with him, and he yelled so much, and so I always say, well, I was 18 the first time I picked up a gun, picked it up, put it down range, my dad's screaming at me, there's bullets, you know, the boom, boom, and I'm like, ah! And I'm like, am I doing this right? Because I was really cognizant of the fact that I had something that could hurt myself or someone else if I didn't do it right. So I kept wanting that reassurance. Am I doing it right? Am I holding it right? Am I doing it right? And my dad's getting irritated and he's yelling at me. And I pull the trigger and I wasn't standing right. And you know, I was 18, so I was lucky if I was 100 pounds, right? And I was a little shorter than I am today. And then boom, and I was like, okay, I put the gun down, went, I'm out, and didn't touch a gun again for another 20 years.
Wow.
Yes. So I know that if my mom was trying to learn and being very sensitive, that kind of yelling, that it wasn't going to happen.
Right.
And so when I trained her, I know. I know what that fear is. And I really think that that's something that helps me when I work with women. You know, there's some who are like, I got this, and then there's some that are like, I don't want to look at the gun because I'm so scared of it.
Yeah.
And you have to know how to talk that language in order to help someone overcome that fear.
Exactly. That's the hardest thing at work, because I encourage all of my female co-workers to come out and shoot, come to the range. I think a lot of times what men tend to do, they get the biggest caliber handgun they can get and say, oh, you got this, and then boom, they shoot it one time and can't handle it. I always, if I take someone to the range, I start them off with my 22.
Oh, I love a 20. How do you not love a 22? Pew,
Yeah.
pew. When I do the girlfriend
soft.
gun training, I always go, you pick it up and it goes pew, 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 and everybody always laughs. I'm like, but that's why.
Yes.
And
it's not intimidating.
And it's cheap.
Super
oh my
cheap,
gosh,
yeah.
the ammo is so inexpensive to shoot that you can spend all day shooting it and go, okay, and feel good about yourself and really get to learn the fundamentals.
Exactly.
And that's really important.
That's what I started off with. I started off with the 22. Can you tell us about the culture?
Okay, so here's the thing about the Gunpowder Gals, and especially in the private group, but even on our Facebook page or Instagram, it's not about politics. I do not allow political discussions. That is not what this group is about. The only, I guess the closest to politics we get is when there's a gun law that is going to come out that's going to affect people, that I feel like this is something you guys need to know and you need to vote on. But I never ever pick any kind of political sides. I don't allow it. I see that, I immediately delete it. And there's you know, I try to kind of keep it as a utopian society.
Yes.
We're all equal. I don't care your backgrounds. I don't care your ethnicity. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care about any of that. And you shouldn't either when you're here. You want to play that game outside, that's your life, you go.
Yeah.
But here within the group, I don't allow it. And I've been very, very lucky in the last 9 years. I haven't had any issues or any problems with it. And I think that we all understand that this is what the group is for. You take that stuff elsewhere, and everybody's been really respectful of each other, and that's important.
Exactly. So we're just trying to learn about guns, how to handle them safely, how to do things safely, and have a good time at the same time. So it's just a fun learning experience for everyone.
With women who feel the same way, that aren't going to look at you. I mean, I've certainly, and you probably had this, where I'll tell somebody I'm with the Gunpowder Gals, and they go, oh, guns?
Yes.
Like I'm going to explode or something in front of them, where I'm just like, I don't understand you and how you would live your life like that you see me, and you don't really even see a person anymore. You see a caricature that TV told you about.
Exactly. I get two sides of that. I get the, oh, I'm coming to your house if something goes down because I know you can save me. And then number two, I don't want to make you mad because then you might shoot me.
Both of which tick me off, by the way. First of all, my job, my responsibility is not to protect you. That's your responsibility to protect yourself and your family.
Yes.
Not mine, okay? It reminds me of, what is it, the grasshopper and the ant?
Oh, yes,
right?
yes. Grasshopper wanted to play.
Yeah, and the ant was like, no, dude, I'm the survivalist. I'm gonna bunk down, right? So it's not my job. It doesn't mean I don't love people. It doesn't mean that I don't want to help people, because I really work to help people by providing an education, by providing a platform so they can come out and increase their skills and their knowledge. My job is not to protect you. It's not to take care of you. And I don't like it when people say things like, oh, you're gonna shoot me. What? Are you kidding me?
I know.
You see I drive a car, you don't say that I'm gonna run you down.
Exactly.
And,
I don't get the mentality. I guess people, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I blame TV. I blame movies, because that is the frothing mouth gun owner that they normally show, and it's like, no, and that's one of the reasons for the Gunpowder Gals. We are representative of the gun community. Okay,
people have this idea that it is some white redneck man, you know, that has a third grade education, wraps himself and spits, right? We are look at we are the American gun owners, okay?
This is it.
Educated, rational business owners. We're employees. We're employers.
Yes.
We are regular old people. We are not. Somebody's like, well, you know, you're gonna shoot. Are you kidding me?
For what?
I think I have much calmer now that I have my concealed carry than before, because it's serious stuff.
Yes.
Okay? This isn't a game. This isn't TV. This is serious stuff.
Exactly.
You know, and like I said, I mean, if you think that way, I mean, somebody who said, a woman actually told me the other day, she's like, well, I don't know if I could have a gun because, you know, I might shoot someone. And I look at her and I'm like, you have kids? Yeah. Do you beat them? No. You don't beat your kids? Do they irritate the crap out of you? Yes. But you don't beat them? No. Okay, so you have some self-control there, yeah? Got a car? Yeah. Do you run people over?
Exactly.
No. Why not?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if the way you do anything is the way you do everything, then there you go.
Exactly.
And there are some people that I'm like, it's your constitutional right, but I don't think it is within your constitution to have a gun. Right? You just need to pull it back a little bit. Honey.
Yeah. What kind of reactions do you get from men?
Okay. They are the range. So I'll get men who say things like, wow, that's sexy. I'm thinking, what? Okay.
Explain, guys, in the comments below. Explain to us.
Right. What? I don't know why that's sexy. I mean, is me driving a car sexy? Is, you know, me using farm equipment sexy? I don't get it.
Yes.
Then I get the guys that are like curious. Right? Oh, really? What? I want my wife to shoot. I want my girlfriend to shoot. How did you get started? Why did you get started? And they're usually just curious because they want another female. They have a female in their life that they want engaged in that. You know, I want my wife or my girlfriend or my mom to be able to take care of herself when I'm gone. When we're not there to protect her, she can protect herself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then I get majority. I would say 90% of the men are just absolutely wonderful. I've been to ranges before. I'm not a big rifle gal, but I've been to the rifle range, and I'm like, okay, we're working on this, and they will come out of the woodwork. Oh, here, let me give you a little bean bag. Here, let me give you a little cloth so you don't hurt your elbow. Here, do you want to fire my gun? Oh, look, I have more ammo. Do you need targets? And they are just whatever they can do in order to help a woman out, they will, and that is like the majority.
That's my experience too. Most of them.
Gunpowder Gals, we're about learning more about firearms. Certainly safety is a priority. It is about camaraderie, having women with the same interests as you, having a good time, and competition, learning how to be better, really, and obviously self-protection for yourself, for your home, for whatever you need it for.
Awesome. All right.